Welcome, ChiroSecure Facebook Live friends. Thank you for joining me for another episode. This one's going to be very exciting. This one's going to be a little new and for some a little uneasy because, well, let's face it, no one wants to pitch anything at any time for any reason. But today we're going to talk about cold pitching, how to cold pitch to your local media. And trust me, even if it's new, it is worth doing because you will start to see how you become the subject matter expert in your community. And what that does is it shares the benefit of chiropractic in your community and makes you the expert. So stay with me through this presentation. It's going to be a lot of new stuff that most doctors have never done before. But I think this is the way to really gain a tipping point for our profession, which is why we wanted to do this with you in ChiroSecure. We wanted to make sure that you're the expert, you know how to do it, and most importantly, as always, that you're willing to do it. So let's jump in, let's get this PowerPoint set up, and let's talk about what we need to do. Now, y'all know that we have to give thanks. So, special thanks to our proud corporate sponsors for always supporting us in making our life easier to continue to spread that fantastic awareness as always. And as we move through, first and foremost, let's talk about pitches. Before we dive into how to pitch, let's talk about what's important and what is a media pitch. So, a media pitch is a very brief letter that is emailed to relevant media outlets and contacts. Now, this could be an editor, a reporter, a journalist, and mostly digital, but some print publications. And they'll serve them to key the information about your proposed story. The media pitch details why your story is relevant to their readers, and it offers you as the subject matter expert. And that's the key. You're the subject matter expert for that story source. Now, as a doctor in the media pitching, it's important for your clinic. Why is that? Because you're going to gain credibility and you're going to be seen as the resource to go to in your community. So be ready because now that you've seen it, you can't unseen it. And now you know what you're going to need to do. Now, before you put together your pitch to the media outlets, there are a few things to keep in mind. On average, reporters only respond to 3% of media pitches. But don't despair because when you hit it, you're going to hit it big. As you can imagine, in today's world, the media goes fast and news stories become irrelevant quickly. So you need to act and you need to be ready with your facts. So ask yourself why your story is important. Sometimes it'll be a timeless story, but ask yourself why it's important. Identify who really is going to be involved in your story and who it affects. And don't give up. Listen, consistent persistence is what makes you amazing. You didn't walk into practice on the first day and know how to do the perfect cervical adjustment. It took time, it took energy, and you kept sharpening your saw. And I want you to keep doing that. Don't give up. And the next thing you want to make sure is that you have your story ready to go. And when it gets picked up, you're ready to go. You're primed and you're ready. We want to build relationships with those media outlets and reporters so you can establish the credibility and also stay top of mind for your community. Now, there's a couple different paid pitches that I want to share with you. And as a doctor, you may find that there is a time and a place for each of these. So we're going to go over both. The first type of pitch is called a news peg. A news peg is a trending story or topic in the news that relates to what you're pitching. For example, leveraging a new research study that was just released. Pay attention to the current climate of the media and then try to tailor your pitch to coincide with their stories so they can see the relevancy. If there are specific offerings that, for say, you do in your clinic, then maybe you can tie that into your pitch. An example of this is Let's say your clinic is actually specializing in motor vehicle accidents. So consider pitching stories that relate back to news centered around that topic. Maybe there is a very dangerous intersection, and you want to talk about that intersection and bring it back to motor vehicle accidents and what happens because of these motor vehicle accidents that happen on that dangerous corner that happens to be by your favorite coffee shop. Okay. So you're seeing how we're tying everything back. The second type of pitch is called a time peg. Now, a time peg actually represents an upcoming date or an event. For example, days like National Women's Health and Fitness Day, or some weeks or months dedicated to specific causes, like I always energize every single one of you to do September as a drug free pain management awareness month. You can use these important dates or holidays to raise the awareness and tailor your message to coincide with these causes. So now I'm thinking you're starting to see what I'm putting down, because it is going to be fun once you start getting into it. So let's say you're writing your pitch. There are a few key questions to consider before you send it to the media. So let's go over those. In reality, one of the biggest jobs of a pitch is to convince someone. And that means that you're going to want to pitch the idea to a loved one, a friend, or a patient to see what their thoughts are. Play it off someone else. Because just because the story is important to you, will it be important to the publication's readership? So I want you to consider, does your story illustrate a widely debated issue? Because that could be hot and ready to be picked up. Is this an issue people want or care to read about? Or why should they care? Does your story shed light on unknown injustices? I think we can find a few of those. And if so, is the right outlet that you're going to pitch the proper one to showcase that injustice? Does your story connect to issues of national concern? I think we've got a few of those too. May being Posture Month, and here we are. Let's go back to the news peg. Does this tie into what's currently going on in the world? Is this going to help shine some light, especially during a pandemic or an epidemic? Technic kind of fits right in there, doesn't it? Who does your story affect? How? Why? And is this the most important question you need to ask before you even write your pitch? If your pitch only affects you, it's probably not newsworthy. So, who does this really affect? Will you reach those who are being affected? Listen, how many people are not impacted by social media and our posture? So you want to start thinking about, how does it affect them and why should they care? I think learning that some of the American Cancer Society research in regards to how stagnant we are in our daily lives and the increased risk of adverse events and cancer is on the rise. So we want to be sure to tie this back. Remember, what is your why? When I say that, I'm not talking about WHY, I'm talking about WI. You have to take your wisdom and put it to work to make an impact. So your why is your wisdom and your impact, and that's going to be the biggest key to success. So, as I previously said, one of your biggest jobs of a pitch is convincing someone else that this story is important to them as it is to you. So consider some of the following tactics to persuade your audience about why they should care. First, imagery. Include descriptive language and scenes that help your editor feel immersed in your story. The more they can visualize the experience, well, the more likely they'll feel drawn to the story. Number two, emotions. Now, skip emotional language that's way over the top and exaggerated. That's not going to work. But what I want you to do is include features with obvious emotional impact. You've read a story where you almost wipe away a tear. That needs to be in there. You need to grab them where it matters, in their heart and in their minds. An example, if your pitch Drug-Free Pain Management Awareness Month, think about the emotional impact that will appeal to your audience by making the connection of what does it mean to be pain-free, or what does it mean to be drug-free? And how does that impact their families, the community, and the nation? Number 3, factual support. Back up your work with as many references as you can, citing journal articles, specific subject matter experts, or linking to other citations in your pitch. I always love to do that. I love to use other people's words because, in fact, it only strengthens your argument that others are there to support your concept. Media outlets need to know that you are credible. And in so doing, that will have the facts and get caught up in a media nightmare if you do not get the facts correct. So do yourself a favor, do your homework. The Foundation for Chiropractic Progress loves to do that. Now, you've written your pitch. Now you feel like it has the strength to be newsworthy. It's time to send it out. But now you need the perfect subject line to catch the reporter or journalist's attention. Remember, just like all of us, they have millions of emails in their inbox. So if they're not enticed by the subject line of the email, it probably won't be opened. So let's go over a couple of examples that are attention grabbing. First example, Harris poll, young adults are just saying no to pain drugs. This is a great example of a news peg that was actually picked up, just so everyone knows, because it's trending closely to topics of national concern. And this subject line makes me want to read more. I want to know the facts. Where's this information coming from? Now let's look at the second sample headliner. Help your readers improve their health and happiness during National Better Sleep Month. Now you can see how you, the chiropractor, can really fit into their world. This is a great example of a time peg due to its timely nature and the coinciding holiday that resonates with most people in the US. Everyone wants better sleep. And what better way to talk about that than during National Better Sleep Month? So I think you're starting to see how you can easily slip into their world. Now, you might be saying, okay, great, I have a story, I know how to write a strong pitch, but how do I make my subject line pop? Well, you're going to want to start thinking about all of the things that are around you. And once you get that subject line popping, now you need to know what it means to be a gold member with the foundation, because you now take a lot of the homework out because you'll have facts. You'll be able to use our materials and you'll be able to share that. But most importantly, one of the secrets I'm about to tell you, if you're a gold member with the foundation, we will customize your media list in your neighborhood. Yes, I just said I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom as a gold member so that you can pitch to those reporters, journalists, and people around you, because we can contrive the media list for you. Can you imagine what a time saver that would be to be able to reach the reporters and journalists in your area? Huge gold member benefit. And you know, I have a gold member at the foundation that pitched our radio PSAs and they got picked up. And it's his clinic using our PSA radios. We also have one who took the 30-second advertisements that are on our website and he pitched for a free public service announcement and he got it, which means on some of the ESPN local channels, he's getting a free pitch. So if you'd like to become a gold member with the foundation, you visit f4cp.org and you upgrade today. Now, as we move through, I want to remind you that there's a lot of information that I just went through, and I do not leave you out in the cold. Hence, with pun intended, we have a brand new How to Cold Pitch Your Local Press Guide to really ensure you've got all of the data points down and you feel comfortable. It's under our print materials. As a member, this is just one of the many resources you have access to. Now, last but not least, what's happening at the F4CP and what can you look forward to as we go through in the future. And I think this is probably my favorite part about being with the foundation is that we're always up to date and timely and we're thinking outside the box. Naturally chiropractic, it's a choice. And the choice is real. And in today's world, it's never more important to have someone in your back pocket to call on for your wellness. And that's you. Naturally chiropractic. That's the choice you're going to make. We want you to really be able to talk about chiropractic as a safe, drug free, patient satisfaction, and overall wellness care provider. So, what does Naturally Chiropractic campaign look like? We're going to put together 4 videos that are going to be streamed across the nation. There's going to be a lot coming up, and I need you all to join me in making sure these commercials get out there. And when the time is right, I'm going to let you in on a secret, but I'm going to keep you on edge at the moment to how we're going to all do this. But there's 4 videos, and it's basically all about the lifestyle of a chiropractic patient. This one happens to be a fabulous true story. This is the life of an 89-year-old woman who credits chiropractic care as the reason why she's able to live an independent lifestyle free of pain. This video features the woman cleaning, cooking, visiting her chiropractor, and enjoying time with her family. So stay tuned. How are we producing all of the videos? Because you remember, and all your dollars come right back into the production of more materials and outreach to our nation. Speaking of outreach to our nation, we have a new ad running in Yoga Therapy Today. This features former NFL player turned yogi DJ Townsend, who has featured on our Adjusted Reality podcast after years of playing an extremely physical sport. He turned to yoga and chiropractic to heal his body and stay in shape. This ad is one of the ways that we're building greater awareness of chiropractic care to millions of yoga enthusiasts around the nation. So I want you to remember that to build greater awareness, we need you to all be in. Share this. It'll be in our social media Facebook page. You can listen to the episode of Adjusted Reality. Better yet, share the Adjusted Reality podcast with friends, families, and coworkers so we build the understanding of chiropractic from the ground up because it is trusted by the adjusted. And only you can spread the word. Take an opportunity to connect with your yoga therapist in your neighborhood and maybe share this. It all does the patient well when they have options for where to go to work out and who to see when they need wellness care. And that is, of course, you. So, what are some of our new resources that are coming up? The first one, Tips to Optimize Wellness in the Workplace, focuses on tips for successful wellness programs in the workplace and how chiropractic can play a role in those programs. If you haven't seen it today, link in with me and get the new article that I just posted today. Fabulous for your entire healthcare community that you're engaged with. If you're not on LinkedIn, find me. Download the app, LinkedIn. It's all about healthcare professionals talking with one another and sharing important news. Dr. Sherry McAllister linking with me. I'd be pleased for you to get our information out as far and as wide as you can. The second piece is Triumph over Tech Neck, which addresses cervical pain caused by our posture while we're hunched over this lovely technology, and especially our smartphones. The tip sheet is a great resource to share on with your newsletter, with your website, wherever you go, do a healthcare lecture, take Triumph over Tech Neck so people are aware of the damage that technology is causing to their body and their lifestyles. Now, look at this next one here, DC webinars. Why do I bring this up? Because we need to sharpen our saw, learn what's new, learn what's great. These blue ones are for DCs, but don't forget your CAs. Why? They are the walking, talking billboard that you make in your community. If you treat your staff and your employees correctly and educate them effectively, you win. And trust me, I want you to win every day all year long. That's why these seminars are made so that you have the best quality information possible to make the most impact in your community. Speaking of impact in your community, one of the things that we like to bring to our Adjusted Reality podcast, which is now in its third season, epic. Don't forget, next month, I'm teasing you right now, we have a Father's Day fabulous special. I want you to get every father in this country listening to the podcast we're going to drop for Father's Day. So stay tuned. You will be amazed who it is. In the meantime, do you know much about the left brain? I didn't until we spoke to renowned worldwide specialist, Dr. Chris Niebauer. Overcoming left brain laziness. What is that? If you don't know what your left brain is doing, trust me, it doesn't always tell the truth. I want you to listen to it and how it impacts your sense of self and ultimately how to overcome some of those false perceptions. Don't let your left brain tell you you can't do it. Let that right brain be creative. That's what you do all day long. You can always listen to our episodes on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcast, Amazon, anywhere you find podcasts, you're going to find us. Share it. Most importantly, make it part of your weekly regime. Find an Adjusted Reality episode that resonates with you. And better yet, make sure you share it with your patients. That's how we win. The more we do, the better we are. Speaking of the better we are, if you're not already a member of the foundation and you'd like to upgrade to gold, because I just showed you what gold can mean, you'll have additional resources like media lists. You visit f4cp.org/package and you will find more. If you need some help and someone to walk you through, you can email Marta at marta@f4cp.com. Marta's fantastic. She's our membership director and she loves talking to our members. And so if you need a little extra TLC, email Marta. She'll get on the call with you if you prefer, or even just email back and forth, marta@f4cp.com. If you haven't already connected with me, there it is. Like I said, LinkedIn, Dr. Sherry McAllister. You'll find what you need when you need it. Share with your community. Connect with me. I love hearing from you. You are my ChiroSecure Facebook Live family. So next week, you're going to have another amazing episode to not miss. So be back here on Tuesday. I can't thank you enough, but be prepared to look out for our Father's Day upcoming June Adjusted Reality podcast. Thanks so much for being with me today. I look forward to being with you next month.
Isn't it time you join the most powerful team of successful doctors in chiropractic and go for the gold? Simply go to www.f4cp.org/package and get your customized practice success solution.